What's up, guys? I'm Jack Zimmerman, and this is Cougs Chaos, and I'm here with my roommate,
Logan Prowse. This is a podcast that we came up with the idea for about a year ago. We figured that we both like talking. We both like talking about sports. And so why not just make a podcast while we're at WSU?
Absolutely. So this is our first episode. We really don't have any idea what we're doing. We're just trying to have fun, talk about sports, talk about Coug stuff, talk about life, and just have fun with you guys. This is, going to be a little bit of a shorter episode since it's our first one, just trying to get, a feel for it. And it's going to be a little bit different than what we have planned in the future.
Hopefully in the future, we won't talk as much about sports as we are today, but since it is the first football Sunday, we're going to talk quite a bit about that. And what we really want you guys to do as the listeners is reach out to us on our email at cougschaos@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram or answer our polls on Instagram at cougschaos. We want to hear from you what you want us to talk about, what you're interested about, any segments, ideas that you have.
Yeah, definitely. And, we will probably still talk about sports in a lot of our podcasts, but today, since we don't really have much else to talk about, we're going to mostly focus on that. And, if you ever want to be on our podcast, you think you have some fun insights, you like sports too, you always hit us up on Instagram or email. We'd love to get you through a Zoom call and get up in here. We're really just trying to be a Cougar student podcast. So if you ever want to,
not affiliated with the
university.
Don't sue us.
But, they're probably we're just going to try to have fun with you guys, try to, talk about stuff. And
with all the stuff that's going on around the world right now, we kind of just wanted to have fun and have a good old time.
Yeah. So, we came up with this podcast idea about a year ago. Actually, Logan's dad, he came up with the name and we just fell in love. And we've been waiting to do this. We were going to start when we got to campus. And then, with coronavirus, we both, decided to stay home for the semester. So we got a little bit of a delayed start, interesting start. But here we are. We're getting it done. We're excited for the future.
And like we said, we know we're going to talk a lot about sports this episode, and we apologize for that, but we really don't have a whole lot that we want to talk about for the first episode. And since it is the first episode, we know it's going to be shitty. We know it's going to be kind of awkward and bad, but we just say hang with us. With the more comments you guys give us and the more feedback you guys give us and the more practice we get, hopefully it'll be better and we'll be more suitable for this and everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is our first ever try at anything like this. We're just two freshmen trying to have fun, making a podcast. I mean, what the hell are we doing here?
We have absolutely no idea.
We have no reason to be podcast hosts. We have no experience, or we have no credibility.
We have no credentials.
There's no reason.
You might be asking us, why are you guys doing this? What qualifies you to be this? I'll tell you, nothing.
If you ask us the question like, what makes me want to listen to your podcast over someone else's? Well, just don't ask that question.
There's no answer.
Just sit down, listen, and try not to actually listen to what we're saying.
You don't even have to listen to the rest of the podcast. Just send us the email, send us a DM. Just tell us what you want to hear.
If you want to tell us that we suck ass, hey, go for it.
That's fine.
If you want to tell us how we can improve, please do that too.
That would be awesome.
If you want to, sponsor us, Nike, we're looking at you. If Spotify's listening, wants to hit us with that Joe Rogan contract, I'm down.
We would be all for that. But like you said, do not, if you're having an argument with your friends, do not bring us up as evidence.
Please, we may know some things about sports, but when I say some things, I mean some things.
Like very minimal.
Like we can read stats off a computer.
That's pretty much all we're gonna do.
So just don't. Just don't take us too seriously. We're not taking ourselves seriously.
We are not at all.
We're currently just in a bedroom, so
I'm sitting on a rotating chair with my MacBook next to me. So
we're just trying to have fun, guys.
We're having fun.
And hopefully you'll have fun with us.
I was going to say, hopefully you'll have fun, and especially in our future episodes when you guys can give us segments that you want us to do.
We're definitely going to be including a lot of fan ideas and your guys, contributions from all you guys. Definitely, hit us up on Instagram, like we already said, at Cougs Chaos. Email us at cougschaos@gmail.com. We really want to hear everything you have to say. And I know it's probably going to be like 6 people maximum listening to this episode, but hey, if you have a suggestion, give it to us. We're happy to hear it.
Thanks, Mom, for listening.
Yeah, I mean, Mom, if you're listening to this, like, please just keep listening. Like,
subscribe.
we need all the support we can get.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
You are all online classes right now, aren't you?
I am.
Can I get your input on that? What do you think about those? You loving those?
Yeah, no, actually. People ask me about this a lot. When I was in high school, I did running start, and so for my final quarter there, we did online classes with Zoom calling and all that crap that we're doing here. And it's more of the same, you just sit there in a Zoom call and you pay attention as much as you can, and you do your online work. It's kind of hard to actually, be motivated and learn more and
be social with anybody.
Making my older sisters talk about how, your freshman year is so great. You meet all your new friends in classes in your dorm. As well, my friend is my mom. She's my roommate, and it's definitely interesting. I think it could be worse though. My classes are interesting, so it helps a little bit. How about you? You're in online class.
Yeah, I'm in online class. Can't say the same about my classes. I am in all UCore classes, so they're all required classes. Not fun at all. They're the classes with about 300 kids where the professors ask you to turn your cameras off.
Yep. I have one of those classes.
Yep. So I don't get a whole lot of exposure to anybody. Like you said, my parents are my roommates, and my dining hall is Thriftway uptown. Go there every day to get lunch. But yeah, I have to say I'm not a huge fan of online learning. I do have a few friends that were planning on being freshmen like us, but after they heard all the grand reviews about online learning, they've decided to defer a year.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish we did that, but I want to graduate in 4 years as well. So
my setup is slightly different because I'm going in with an AA degree. I don't really have the UCore classes, so I'm taking prereqs for my major.
You're an Alcoholics Anonymous?
No, I am not that.
Okay.
AA degree, not the AA program.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm in classes more specific to my major, which is sports management. And so a lot of my classes have about 35 people. So I've done a little like breakout rooms, and I've met some people in my classes, and I haven't made any friends, but like because that's not really what they do. You barely talk in those breakout rooms, kind of awkward.
I was gonna say, and in the breakout rooms, it's okay. Go in the breakout room and do your work, and then once you're done with your work, they end the breakout rooms, so you don't get a whole lot of time to talk to people.
Or sometimes when you finish your work early, you just gotta sit there. Sometimes you turn your camera off, and sometimes you don't. You just sit there and wait, and then when the countdown's like, oh, breakout room's over, let's get out of here.
Or you always have that one kid who leaves his mic on and doesn't say anything, so we just hear parents in the background making food or something.
Yeah, dogs barking, kids screaming. Sometimes you just hear people wailing on that keyboard typing. You don't even know what they're typing, but they're going
at it. You're not doing any work, but they're still typing stuff down.
They're writing a book or something.
Jack, I have heard that you are a big NBA fan.
Oh, yeah. Big NBA fan.
Why don't you talk us through some of the recent stuff that's happened? Because I know that the bubble is there, and it's already the playoffs, already deep in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, well, let's first talk about the bubble a little bit. I think the NBA bubble was they pulled it off really well. I mean.
But if you think about this, the bubble happened, and there's a lot of drama about trying to sneak people in and everything. But then NFL right now didn't do a bubble and only had one confirmed case.
Today's day one of Sunday football. The NBA were in a bubble for well over a month and have yet had zero positive cases of coronavirus. I believe that they have done a phenomenal job. And I understand, it's got to be hard for these players when you're already your job in the NBA is traveling across the country day after day. So it's tough when you have a family and kids and a wife. And now they're stuck in one place. They don't get any home games. They don't get any dinners with the family. They're stuck in a hotel room. But I got to say, I think it worked out really well. I'm a Laker fan, have been since very long time.
Since LeBron got there.
No, I've been a fan since Kobe Bryant back in the day when I was a little kid. My first basketball game I ever watched was Kobe Bryant scoring 81 points, and I just fell in love with the Lakers. But I think the bubble was great. I think they did a really good job. I'm sure the players are excited for it to be over soon, or the players that are already gone. They're probably happy, but let's talk about the playoffs. The Lakers losing game one of both the first round and the second round, and then immediately winning 4 in a row.
Would you chop the 2 first losses up to LeBron being terrible?
No.
Because that's what I saw when I watched those.
Here's
games.
what I think. Here's what I think.
Let's see.
I think the Lakers go into these because they were the first seed in the West. I think the Lakers go into these series being overconfident, and they get overconfident, but then they stop. They don't make their shots. They don't play like a team. They don't play good defense, and the underdog teams beat them. And then they really get serious. And as you could see in both the Portland series and the Houston series, their defense just picks up and is incredible, stopping these teams from scoring. I mean, Houston scored 96 points in Game 6. That is really, really low. And in the Portland series, when they averaged 123 points in the bubble, Game 2 they scored like 80-something.
I think that was just luck.
So you're clearly okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Logan is a Warriors fan.
Have been since 2011.
Yeah, since Kevin Durant got there.
Nope.
But
2011 when they drafted Klay Thompson out of Washington State University with the 11th pick.
Absolutely. Anyways, he's just butthurt his team's not good anymore.
If the Warriors were invited to the bubble, which they should have been.
No, they should not have been.
Because both of their star players.
They were mathematically out of the playoffs. They were the worst team in the league. How are you going to invite the worst team in the league to the bubble?
Because both of their superstar players who were previously hurt were healthy then, and they could have played. And
they were mathematically eliminated.
They would have won the playoffs.
What you don't understand clearly is that they were. It's not that they were not invited because they didn't have like a good record.
No,
they weren't invited because it was impossible.
It got lost in the mail.
They were mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Okay, let's talk about Eastern Conference for a little bit. The Bucs. They lost 4-1 in the second round.
Bucs.
You think Giannis is out of there?
I think he's gonna. Okay, if I'm Giannis, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, my brother's on the Bucs right now.
Well, his brother's also on the Lakers, and his other brother, I think, is on the Mavericks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that doesn't matter. Okay, his brother's on the Bucs, and he's like, hey, I'm closest to this brother. He's my favorite by far.
Okay,
and then
let's just say that's speculation. We don't know that. Giannis, don't sue us. I know you're listening, Giannis.
And so what he does this offseason is he goes and searches the market, not real hard, but he goes looks at like
he gets some dinners bought for him.
Yeah, he looks at some histories of teams and goes, wow, there's this team that's been very, very good.
Wait.
And he goes to them. They happen to be called the Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
And he goes to them and says, hey, I'm looking out of to get out of Milwaukee. But here, will you do this for me? If I'll take less money if you sign me and my brother. And Warriors are like,
his brother's not a free agent.
I know, but they're gonna get him. They're gonna sign him. It's a
like a trade and sign.
No, it's a loophole.
Oh,
it's like if they really don't want to be there, they can just
they can't actually.
And that's what's gonna happen is the Warriors are gonna sign both him and his brother. Giannis is gonna take a pay cut so that we can sign James Wiseman with a second pick in the draft too. And then, we're just gonna do what the Warriors do and win.
Okay. Here's what I think. First of all, here's what I think should happen, and then I'll say what I think will happen. What I think should happen. Giannis is 25. I think he should sign a 4-year supermax and get as much money as possible with the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Give them a couple years to build an actual championship team, find him another another superstar to play with. And if not, then he'll be 29, which is still in his prime. He can leave, go create his super team, and win 100 championships. What I think will happen is he's going to go to the Miami Heat, who beat him in the playoffs. Here's why. He unfollowed the Bucs' official Instagram and all of his Milwaukee teammates. When was the last time a superstar did that? Let's think. Oh, Kevin Durant unfollowed everyone and then left and won a bunch of championships. If Giannis goes to Milwaukee, it will be Miami and the Nets as the big contenders in the East. It would be Giannis, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo with Tyler Hero coming up on the 3-ball. That would not only be a really good team, but Giannis would be the unchallenged best player, which means he would get his points and his stats, but he would also have great defense and shooting around him.
Do you think Jimmy Butler will allow that?
Yes, I think he would. Because I know Jimmy Butler went to Miami to make it his team. But Jimmy Butler played pretty well on the 76ers. And the 76ers, he was not the best player on the team. Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons was, mostly Joel Embiid. but he hit some clutch shots, and I know he left, right away. But I think here's the thing. I think if the Miami Heat can get Jimmy Butler on board, then it's a done deal. I think if they can't, it doesn't matter because you don't say no to Giannis Antetokounmpo. You don't say no to him.
Yeah.
He's about to be a back-to-back MVP, and he already won his Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that's what the Warriors do.
There's only 2 players in NBA history who have won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year at the same time.
Yeah, it's Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
No, it was actually Hakeem Olajuwon and Michael Jordan.
That's what I meant.
You're almost there. Anyways, so then we got Eastern Conference Finals. We got Boston and we got Miami. I think it's gonna be a good series, 6 or 7 games. Who do you got winning that series, Logan?
Honestly, Miami.
You got Miami.
I honestly
have the 5 seed going to the finals.
I honestly have Miami because I think Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero, like you said, they may not be the best players in the league, but they play together well.
They're really good, like team playing team.
Yeah, it sounds kind of cheesy, but
it's true though.
They're gonna.
That's how they beat Milwaukee.
I think they can win.
I agree. I think they can win. I think it's gonna be a close series either way. I think Boston has the power to, and the skill and the talent to beat Miami. But Miami's young, Miami's hungry, they're underrated, and I think their defense is better than Boston. And I think Jimmy is an underrated leader. Because I think when he was with Minnesota and he was with the 76ers, people started questioning his character because he didn't want to be on those teams, so he wasn't being a good teammate. But he wanted Miami, and he loves being the leader and the older guy on the team. And Bam is young and up and coming. And obviously we have Tyler Hero and Chris Dunn, who hasn't done much. His name's Chris, right?
I don't know.
Something Dunn. I know his name starts with a K.
We'll say that. Dunn. Do we know it's done?
We know it's done.
Okay, then it's done.
Anyways, it's done. You went Miami?
I went Miami.
I'm going to go I'm going to go Miami too in 7.
See?
7 games. Then we got –
you heard it here first.
Then Lakers and actually, hold on. Clippers and Denver forced a game 7. Denver won today, 111-98, and forced a game 7. What do you think about that?
I think next game, Mike Porter Jr. is going to have about 12 points, and they're going to win.
Going into this series, I really thought the Clippers were going to just kind of wipe the floor, winning 5 or 6 games. And Denver, they went down 3-1 in the first round, and then they beat the Utah Jazz, and now they're down. They were down 3-1 in this series, and it looked like it was over. And now they're going to Game 7. I would love to see Denver win. I think the Lakers can stomp the floor on Denver, and I think the Clippers will be a little bit harder. But I still think either way, Lakers in 6. Hey, Logan.
Hey, Jack.
The NFL season has begun. Let's talk about the first couple games.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. And we are currently recording this on Sunday the 13th, which is the first football Sunday. And, man, was it crazy. First off, Thursday Night Football, first game of the year. Mahomes versus Watson.
Exciting game.
That was exciting.
Well, exciting before it started.
Yeah, before everybody thought it was exciting. But then Mahomes was like, hey, yo, let me take all this money out of my pants real quick. Let me empty my pockets. And then he went out there and absolutely scorched Houston's team.
Looked like the defending champion.
Yeah, he did. And then coming into the day, we are both from the Seattle area, so we are both huge Seahawks fans. And I would use the word destroyed. Because
I would go destroyed. Stomped
on. Eliminated. That's another one.
Clapped.
Ooh, they got clapped. I like that. All right. Granted, Atlanta did have a few late scores, but
and a few big pickups of plays. But we stopped trying. Yeah, it was too easy. Well, tell them the score.
38-25, Seahawks won, and man, was that exciting! I think this year it's going to be so exciting to see Russell Wilson work. Just from this first game, what was he? 31 for 35.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at Russell Wilson's stats this game. It was incredible. This man, who, by the way, was a finalist for MVP last year, but didn't receive a single vote. You Seahawks fans know how painful that is. Russell Wilson, game 1 of the season, no preseason, didn't get that late in the playoffs. He hasn't played football in a while. 31
had a baby in the offense.
Had a baby in the offseason. Well, his wife did, but
Well, he was
31 for 35. 4 incompletions. You heard me right. 4 incompletions.
Wait, I feel like there's another 4 on the stat sheet.
Well, we'll get there in a minute.
Okay,
but you know where another 3 is?
Where's the
322 yards.
That's a lot of yards.
That's a lot of yards. And that 4 that Logan was talking about, touchdowns. And what's the interception count?
I think it's a big old fat goose egg.
It's a big old fat 0 donut goose egg. He went for 322 yards with 4 touchdowns, 4 incompletions, and 0 touchdowns. If that performance doesn't spell MVP, I really don't know what does.
I must say, that was very impressive.
He was also the leading rusher for the Seattle Seahawks this season or this game. He had 3 carries for 29 yards. Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson started the game kind of hot, but they only ended with 23 rush yards and 21 with only one touchdown between the two. One touchdown between the two. Carlos Hyde put one in late game, but man, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Okay, I don't think we could talk about DK that well because when you drop a pass that open, it kind of frustrates me. But hey, you know what?
He made up for himself.
He made up for himself. He got that touchdown on 4th and 5.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, kind of early in the game, I think, or we still had the lead, of course, but Russell Wilson throws a beautiful pass to wide, and we're talking wide open. DK I think the Atlanta defense were like taking a water break or something. Like there was no one there.
He could have put a for sale sign and got at least an acre of land to sell.
Yeah, and it hit him in the hands, and he dropped it. But before you get too mad at him, he had 4 receptions for 95 yards and a touchdown. He picked up some good yards. And then Tyler Lockett didn't see the end zone, but he had 8 receptions for 92 yards. He was picking up some good. And then Chris Carson, this is where he did most of his damage that game. He had 3 receptions. Sorry, he had 6 receptions for 45 yards, and he had the 2 first touchdowns of the game. He played well.
I will say not a bad showing for the Seahawks offense. And on the defensive side,
I think stays interesting.
The most notable thing about the Seahawks defensive side is Jamal Adams.
That man right there, Jamal
number
Adams.
33, the most recent addition to the Seahawks team.
Great pickup. Got him for 2 firsts and a third. Didn't even have to give him a player.
My favorite thing about Jamal Adams was how even on plays he wasn't a part of, like if he didn't make the tackle, and
he made an impact.
He made the impact, and he was the first one to congratulate him. That's the type of guy that you want on your team.
He was playing like a real teammate.
He was playing like he wanted to be there.
I mean, when was the last time a Seattle defender upstaged Bobby Wagner? When we had the Legion of Boom, and all of a sudden, Earl Thomas or maybe Richard Sherman or Cam Chancellor, but now we're talking about a Seattle defender who played better than Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner had a great game, don't get me wrong. But I think Jamal Adams had a bigger impact. He had 1 sack, 2 fumble or tackles for loss, and he had something like 12 tackles in his first game with the Seahawks.
Yeah, that was amazing. So I think all in all, the Seahawks game, very strong start to the season.
But Logan,
very happy with it.
Hey, we watched some other games too.
Oh my gosh, did we ever?
Let's get into some other games.
Can I just say?
You can just say. Go ahead and just say.
Okay. Well, if you have the reigning Pac-12 passing leader as your starting quarterback for the team.
We're going there.
I would think that you're going to be a good team. Hey, but that's just my opinion. That was not shared by a majority of the NFL community.
Well, it's shared by all of our fans.
What did we hear? Jacksonville's going to tank. Jacksonville's going to suck. 0-16. Jacksonville's not going to win a game. First game against the Colts. Phillip Rivers is quarterback with good wide receivers, good coaching. What's going to happen? They're going to get blown out. What happened? 27-20. Gardner Minshew.
3 passing touchdowns.
Gardner Minshew went up there, put on his man jock, shaved his beard a little bit,
he got cleaned up a little bit.
Looked like a football player, went out there and did what he does, and he just throws the ball. Throws the ball to receivers. What was he? 19 for 20.
You thought 31 for 35 was good? 19 for 20.
You're starting the Russell Wilson MVP campaign. I'm starting the Gardner Minshew.
Well, he only had 173 yards.
I don't care. He missed 1 pass, and he had 3 touchdowns.
He did have 3 touchdowns.
And he won the game.
He's making us Cougars real proud.
I cannot stress enough.
He also had 5 carries for 19 yards rushing.
And how do you win a game when no one knows a single player on your defense. I'm gonna be honest.
Can anyone here name a Jaguar defender?
Nope.
Nope. Really? Can anyone name more than 3 Jaguar players?
I can name Gardner.
I can name Gardner Minshew.
That's all you need,
that
though.
Defender,
That's all you need.
Good defender left for Baltimore, so I don't know his name.
Unique Ngakwe.
No, not him, but you know.
Calais Campbell.
Yeah, he left.
He left
So
because he was like, "Hey, I
this
see
team
this kid.
sucks.
I see this kid Gardner, and he's gonna outshine me. I don't want that to happen."
That's very true. Speaking of Gardner Minshew, he's the best player in Madden 21.
I think so. And in the NFL currently, I just can't.
Okay, here's the thing. I love Gardner Minshew, but
Don't say anything negative.
I'm not gonna say anything negative. I'm just saying, personally, I'm still a Russell Wilson fan over Gardner Minshew.
I for sure.
So you said he's the best player in the NFL. I still think Russell's better, but he's right there second, above Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Who, Gardner is?
Yeah,
Gardner's
the second best player.
He was okay.
Gardner's the second best player in the NFL.
Yeah. No, I mean,
but
okay. Oh, who did you beat? Oh, was it the Browns? No, it was the Colts. Historically, not a bad team.
Lamar Jackson, he's referring to, beat the Browns.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson can. You know what? That was just a gimme. No one really thought that they would lose that game. But who thought that Jacksonville would lose this game?
Probably everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna tank for Lawrence. You don't need Trevor Lawrence. You have Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, you better not draft
Greatest
Trevor
talent
Lawrence.
since I don't know, ever.
Klay Thompson.
Probably Klay Thompson.
Yeah. Okay, guys. You know what another big hyped up opening weekend game was?
What was that, Jack?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the New Orleans
Why was
Saints.
that so hyped? What was special about that, Jack?
Oh, not much. Other than, maybe the GOAT of football was playing for Tampa Bay.
2 of the greatest football quarterbacks to ever play the game played each other.
Opening weekend, Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. The number 1 and 2 leaders in passing touchdowns, passing yards, and passing receptions. Unbelievable.
That's crazy. But I will say,
what? Passing completions, not receptions. They're quarterbacks. They don't catch the ball. They throw it.
Do they really?
They throw it to the guys who catch it, and then they score touchdowns.
Okay, so they have completion.
Yeah.
Okay. But I will say, a lot of people thought Buccaneers would be better than they were.
When Tom Brady went to the Bucs, it was kind of like when the Browns got overhyped. They instantly became like, oh, they're going to the Super Bowl. Like, they're going to go all the way. They're going to win. They got kicked their asses in 34-23. Saints beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay, Tom Brady went there, but Tom Brady didn't do anything.
Okay, here's the thing. Tom Brady threw for 239 yards and 2 touchdowns. When you think about that, you're like, hey, that's not bad. Well, he put most of those yards in at the end when the game was over. He threw for 2 interceptions, including one of those being a pick six. And, you might look at Drew Brees' stats and think, okay, well, that one isn't very good. He only had 160 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns. And he was playing pretty well. But I think the team, the players who really, kind of carried this team was – wow, their running backs did not have much, actually. I don't know how this team won. Their defense played really well. Now, I know we've talked a lot about sports today. And like we said at the beginning, it's not always going to be mostly sports. We just thought that'd be a good way to start since we both love sports. And today was the first football Sunday. And we haven't really gotten much into our segments and what we're really going to be talking about. But let's end this first episode with some internet would you rather questions. Logan,
a few would you rather questions. All right, Jack, if you were reborn in a new life, would you rather be alive in the past or the future?
It's a good question. Well, here's the thing. How much in the future?
See, but you can choose.
Okay. Because I would obviously want to go somewhere that I've never actually experienced. And
you haven't experienced the past either.
No, exactly. But like with the future, I'm going to get a good amount of the future. I mean, like some future since I'm young. You know what? Let's go. Man, I would love to see where technology goes, but I'd also love to see. You know what?
You are taking this a lot more serious.
I'll live in the
I thought.
future. I'll live in the
Really?
future. Yeah. What about you?
I am 100% going into the past.
Where?
The Wild Wild West.
Of
Are you
course.
kidding me? If
Well, you don't get to choose your location. You just get
No,
to
I don't care the
You'll
location.
just travel there.
I'll just grab a horse. Are you kidding me? Reborn in the Wild Wild West. Hopefully survive till I'm 19. Okay. Hopefully
You'll already
nobody
have
comes to
grandkids
shoot
by
me.
then.
Yeah. Okay. But then get a horse, just ride across country, to have a time of my life. Who is more free than people in the Wild Wild West? Nobody. And you don't know if the Earth is gonna be alive in the future. So there's that for you.
I'm going to the future. Okay, next question.
Would you rather be extremely underweight or extremely overweight? Like, we're talking extremes.
Man, I was already overweight once, and I lost all that.
Did you want to go
But
back
extreme. So are you talking like mad obese and like mad anorexic?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go anorexic, and
Really?
here's why though.
Okay.
I think it's easier because it's not that I have the disease; it's just that's how skinny I am.
That's just.
So I think it would be easier to pack on weight than lose it all. So if I started extremely skinny, I would just try to gain as much weight as possible. But if I was super fat, then it would take a long time to lose all that weight, and then I'd have stretchy skin, have to get surgery, and all that. What about you?
I'm 100% going overweight.
Okay.
Okay, because if you go into a room, right, and say it's a conference,
We're talking like 500 pounds a piece.
I've never been to a conference.
Of course not.
But okay, say you walk into a conference and you see a bigger guy. He is having the most fun there. You cannot tell me that there is a sad big guy in that room.
Why is it that the only reason why you want to gain weight is to have fun at conferences?
No,
when are you going to conferences?
It's not. That's an example.
You think being fat is just fun all the time?
No, I think that they have a more fun time with their life than.
Yeah, because they hate themselves on the inside.
Okay, but on the outside they're super fun. I think that I would rather be more overweight than I would underweight.
Okay, well, we don't agree on either of the questions. Do you have any more?
Okay, I think this one we'll agree on. Would you rather be the funniest person in the room or the most intelligent?
Funniest.
100%.
Here's the thing.
100%.
Here's the thing. Being the most intelligent in the real world is not always the most useful thing. But when you're the funniest motherfucker out there,
that's what I'm saying. If you walk into a conference, okay,
conferences, man.
If you walk into a conference, you are not going to be going over to the guy with MC squared, blah blah blah. Ooh, I'm sorry.
What kind of conference do you go to?
I don't know, but I'm not that one because I don't want to see that guy. But if I see the guy that's making everybody laugh, that's who I'm gonna go to.
Just think about it though. Being funny is the key to like creating relationships. You know, like first impressions. Do you imagine how good you would be if you're just the funniest freaking person out there?
I'd have a lot more friends.
I'd have at least one.
I'd have at least.
Think about it. You go to job interviews. I mean, yeah, being smart would help, but if you're just making the interviewer just laugh his butt off,
you're gonna get the job.
Hell yeah, you got.
You're not even qualified for it.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Should we end it on this one?
I think I've got one more.
Okay, final question.
Final question for the day. Would you rather win $50,000 or let your best friend win $500,000?
You know what? I'm gonna let you go first. I've gone first for the other two.
I'm gonna go first, and I'm saying if it's your true best friend, you're gonna let them win $500,000 because you bet your butt. Next day I'm going to their house and saying, "Hey, you want to know why you won that money? It's because of me, and I want half of it." And if they're your real best friend, at least not even half, more than $50,000. As long as I get more than $50,000, I'm good.
That seems kind of selfish.
Here's the thing. No, but here's the thing. I help them out too. I'm not only helping myself out, I'm helping them out.
Here's the thing. They don't know that's true. Like they don't know why they won. So
I'm just a random guy that comes up.
Well, no, you're not a random guy. You're their best friend. But you could just be saying that, and they could be like, "Whoa, this guy just wants my money.
Just a gold digger.
Screw this guy." Here's the thing. They have no obligation to give you any of that money.
I know, but $50,000 to them is like.
Think about who your best. Yeah, but it's not a hypothetical best friend. Think about your best friend right now. Would he give you $250,000?
If he had it, yes.
No, he wouldn't.
No, he wouldn't. But if I really made a convincing argument to give me some money, I think I would get some. And I would rather two people be
That's
better off.
I would love if my friend won, and got money. But would they really give me more than 50 grand?
That's 50 grand's all I need. Because then
if it's all you need, then just take it for yourself.
No, but then
you're risking nothing if you go with your friend.
Then I have $50,000 and somebody else is better off. And see, again, I don't really like to pat myself on the back all that much, but that is such a nice thing.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you.
See,
I'm gonna let my friend win 500,000, and then I'm gonna blackmail them into giving me all of it. Yeah,
just all this.
Well, actually, no. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I am my own best friend.
Oh, so you're just.
So I'm gonna win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my best friend, who is me, is gonna win 500,000,
yes.
which is me, and I'll get 500,000 compared to 50,000. Or if my dog is my best friend and my cat, like, do I get? But I'm the owner, so I get the money.
That's well, but they would give the money. Who is giving out the money? That's the question. Is it like a really, like
Obama?
Oh, Obama seems like a pretty chill guy.
I feel like he'd give me.
He'd slide me some.
Slide under the table. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, I mean,
that was our first episode, guys. I mean, I know we've said it a bunch of times, but we talked a lot about sports today. It's not going to always be like that. We'll touch on sports a lot, but not for like the majority of the episode. We're gonna.
If you're still listening to this,
like, good for you.
Like,
Thank you. We're not even listening to this.
I'm sorry that you had to listen to the whole thing.
I'm editing this. I'm probably not even listening.
But thank you for listening to it. Like we said, this is shitty.
It's a rough start.
It's a real rough start. Hopefully we'll get better, and with your suggestions, it'll be a more entertaining show.
Absolutely.
Again,
we're just gonna keep working. It's gonna get better and better.
Yep.
Like we're never gonna have an episode that's worse than the previous one.
Fingers crossed.
We really hope.
And again, if you're thinking to yourself, "Oh, why am I listening to the guys?"
Good question. Don't ask that question.
Good question. We are not sure.
We find it better that when you're doing something you're not sure about, just don't question it.
Just don't do it.
Don't question it. You still do it.
Oh, we do it.
Like, because in this scenario, they're listening to us, and then they're asking
still
why.
Listening.
So no, it's keep listening.
Still listening, but we're just two kids.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. That's our qualifications.
Absolutely.
And our show.
Just trying to have fun.
Yeah, our show. For future episodes and hope all the next episodes, we are not going to have like any serious topics like political
stuff.
Because
we're just here to have fun, guys.
We're just here to have a fun time.
We're not going to touch on anything like that.
Yeah, we hope you guys have a fun time listening to this. Yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. This is Cougs Chaos.